Hello, hello, Plannerettes. How are you? We made it to another live stream here on the Marianne Cresp Show. Thank you so much for joining me wherever you are in the world. If you are here with me in the live chat, please make sure to say hello, just like Cindy, Tamara, Irene, the budgeting mama, Brenda. Hello, nice to see you. And if you are joining me on the replay, make sure you say hello as well in the comment section. How have you all been? Did you get to catch me yesterday what did I do yesterday? Oh, yes, that's right. I did a brain dump yesterday. I did my Sunday afternoon brain dump and getting my running to-do list. Hello, Ronnie Cat. Nice to see you as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you here. Now, I did ask a question earlier. What is your favorite beverage or what are you drinking right now? Coffee, tea, water? Let me know and I'll go and check that out in a second. So I do hope that you are having a great day wherever you are in the world. And I appreciate you taking the time to join me today to do some do it yourself little task card for our planners to help prompt us on days where we might need a little bit of gentle planning. So I hope you all had a great Easter break if you celebrated Easter and the long weekend. I didn't do my Monday live last week, took a much needed break, but I made up for it yesterday with the brain dump. So I do appreciate you being here so much. Excellent. All right. So what are we doing today? Well, I want you to please let me know in the chat right now by way of saying yes, and the same in the comment section if you are watching on replay. Who has already seen my YouTube video from last week where I talked about why I couldn't figure out why I wasn't able to get things done? I just felt low, my energy, my motivation wasn't there. So let me know if you have already seen my video. What's wrong with me? Why can't I get anything done? Now, in that video, I did talk about how to plan when you're feeling tired, when you have very little to no energy, or you're just, feeling off. And I know I've been that for a while, many different factors. But in that video, I shared a really simple and gentle daily rhythm that you can use on those days. So we know life still goes on around us and we still have to do some stuff, right? So, yes, there are times that, we can take a break, give ourselves a little bit of compassion and grace, but there are times where we just got to keep on going. But what we can do is we can do a softer, gentler planning where we don't have to overload ourselves with all the things we need to do. And in that video, I spoke about a three-part rhythm for your day. So, writing down something, a must do, a non negotiable that you need to action for that day. And then one recharge moment where you are putting and doing something for yourself and creating a little bit of fun, a little bit of, joy, and just doing something that has an intrinsic motivation where you don't have to show off to anyone else. It doesn't matter whether you do a great job or not, but it's something that you want to do for yourself. And also then planning something, a little tiny win. So if there's something on your to-do plate that you've been needing to finish or get started, and just making that one small action step, that you will feel a progress if you action this one little task. So, three things that you can just do on those days where it's a little bit tougher. Maybe you're overwhelmed, maybe you're anxious and not feeling as good, or you just don't want to do anything, but you have to do some stuff. So there's the non-negotiable, one must do, something that's for yourself and recharge your energy, something you enjoy. Even though if that's just sitting on the couch doing nothing, reading a book, doing some crochet, paint by numbers like I have been doing for a few days now. And hey, I've nearly finished one of my canvases here. So that is a good sign that I have been taking a little bit of time for myself and just recharging. So these three part rhythm or things to do on those low energy day is a very helpful way for you to structure your day when you just don't have a lot to give, but you still need to do a little bit of or you need a little bit of support and focus. So let's see who has watched that video. We have um, Brenda has watched it. Excellent. Thank you so much, Brenda. And so has Cindy. Hello, Elle. Nice to see you. And a quick hello. I have a walk scheduled and wanted to come by and listen to the live during the walk. Oh, that is so sweet of you. Thank you. Appreciate you for that. And so, all right. So, a couple of you have seen that video. So, I do appreciate it. So, keep that in mind. Put it into your save for later playlist. So, sometimes all we need is that little nudge or that little reminder to say, hey, you don't have to plan the whole world today. Just do these three little things, the one must do, recharge moment, and a tiny win. And then that can actually help gain momentum. And then you might be able to find that little bit of energy to do something else. But just keep it simple and be gentle with yourself. All right. So, do let me know, for those of you that have watched it, what did you think of it? Is it something that's going to be helpful for you to just tap into and just go, all right, why can't I do anything? I know I'm supposed to do something, but I just can't think, and I'm just sitting here being hard on myself. So go watch that video, save it for later. The link is in the description, and like I said, pop it into your watch later playlist for a quick access for when you want to come back to it, and on those days where you are tired, when you really really need it. And some comments that came through under that video, and I thank you for all of you that have, that create or add these comments, because this really does help me know exactly that what I'm feeling, I'm not alone. And then also by going through how I plan through my tough days, that it's also helping you, that it's a helpful video, that you really need it, and it's perfect timing. We all, hey, we're the planerettes. We are a kindred spirit. We're probably going through similar stuff. We're the same age group. And, even though we're on different parts of the world, we are still all trying to manage life, whatever life throws at us. So some of us are carers for the elderly, some of us are retired, some of us are parents, teachers, whatever we're doing, it all sometimes gets a little bit too much. And knowing someone else is going through exactly the same thing is really helpful. So I always appreciate all the comments that come through, and thank you so much for doing that. Okay, now those three things, those three-part rhythm, gentle planning days, instead of trying to remember them, especially during those times where you can't think and you don't even have the capacity to, get out of bed sometimes, I'm going to show you how to make your own do it yourself gentle planning prompt card or a task card, just like this one right here. So this one here is made from laminated sheets. So I do have a laminating machine and laminating pouches and sheets, because we are a homeschooling household. But I will show you the different resources that you can use if you don't have those. Or sometimes, packaging. So if you get any toy packaging or any of those, anything that you buy that have a sturdy plastic, cut them up and then just pop them aside. So when you are having little crafty moments like this, you've got it handy. All right, so it's a simple little prompt card to help anchor your morning when you need to try and figure out what is it that I need to do today, just so then I have something on my to-do list. The things that I need to, a non-negotiable, something for myself, and something that will make me feel like I have accomplished something today. So these are from that video last week. So that's a must do, a recharge moment, as well as a one tiny win. So for me, I actually wrote out, or rather typed out, and with my label maker, the actual question that I need to ask myself. So then it makes it easier for me to try and figure out, well, what is it that I need to do today? So I'll show you exactly how I made this. So this is just helps you with a little bit of structure, and it's going to help you plan softly and intentionally without overwhelming yourself. Because sometimes, we have our planner and it's got lots of lines and it's got lots of space. We feel obligated to fill it in with all the different things. Well, what else can I do? So then it doesn't look blank, or, there's a space for it, especially those planners that have already pre checklist or check boxes, and you feel like if there's 5 or 6 on there, you feel like you have to fill it in with what else can I do? So, when there are moments where you have low energy, where you're not feeling, there's no motivation, or like me, you just don't know why, perimenopause, low vitamin D levels, just the different change, the different season that we're going through. It's been raining. I think there's a thing that you get quite sad, or your mood gets low when the weather changes. So, whatever it is that's happening with you, for those moments, we can make ourselves a nice little do it yourself prompt card to help us remove the decision fatigue. So, because we know, okay, Marianne has said to me in the past, try and do top 1, 2, or 3 priorities. But all of them, when you have a lot on your to do list, you just think all of them are a priority. But this little prompt will help you decide a lot better and make that decision a lot easier for you. So, you can have your days, you can start your day a little bit calmer. So, this card is for you. You can either do something like I did here, where you type out the whole question, or you can just put 1 must do, 1 recharge moment, or 1 tiny win. Okay, so before we dive in, I did have that question earlier. What drink do you have today, or what is your favorite beverage? Coffee, tea, or water? So I do love my coffee. We used to have the Nespresso pods, but we're now just buying, the dupes in the supermarket. And I do have it in my Plan, Make, Reflect mug, and so I've got that here, and so really important. So I'll go check what your favorite drink is in a second. So let's go. Okay, so for those of you, let me see if I have gone and favorite them. Okay, so let us see. So my favorite drink is coffee. So for Cindy, it is sweet tea. Excellent. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to have to try some sweet tea. Brenda says coffee now. She's drinking coffee now, and her favorite as well. Irene, the budgeting mama, ice cold lemonade. Oh, that sounds really refreshing as well. Same for Tamara. Oh, yes, sweet tea indeed. And water, making sure we are hydrating. So I appreciate you letting me know. Now, just a little plug, I have my Plan, Make, Reflect coffee here. And if ever you do want to support my channel, I'd love for you to check out my merchandise store. So I do have t-shirts in there, jumpers, jackets, tote bag, a hat, dotted notebook, and there is that Plan, Make, Reflect mug, and then there is also a tumbler as well. So I'm going to be grabbing that soon. So I'm just waiting, saving my money, because most of the times for me here in Australia. So this is from a company called Fourth Wall. So they are US based. So the shipping can get a little bit more expensive sometimes for me here in Sydney, Australia, than the actual merchandise. So so if you wanted to just support and just check it out, that would be really lovely. And then if you do happen to want to have a look and see, and something you would like, and a real little reminder for you to, when you're planning, plan with intention, making sure you are putting something in there for yourself as well. And then instead of doing stuff, let's make something. Not so much make as in, creative or artistic stuff, but making it fun, making it joyful, adding playfulness into our day. And of course, reflecting, see what went well and what it is we can maybe change for the next week, the next month. So that is my merchandise store. So thank you so much for, letting me do my my little plug of my merch store. I appreciate it. And yes, Brenda does have the same mug she had purchased, the Plan, Make, Reflect. They're quite a good, Mm. And they're microwavable too, so really, really good. All right, so let's quickly have a look. So today I'm going to show you how I made this prompt card using laminating sheet as well as sticky note flags and my little label maker. Now, for those of you who might go, why even bother making that? Why can't you just write it down or have it on a little post-it note? The reason why I like to make these things is because I know being creative, making my own do it yourself, crafty stuff is one of the ways that re energizes me, that helps reset me. And I do find joy in making things and for things turning out and having something tangible that I made. So, the one of the main reason for me making these things is part of my well-being, part of my self-care. So if ever you're trying to figure out, I don't have time for breaks, I don't have time to do anything for myself, things that are like little arts and craft stuff, those are great mindfulness moments. So, someone else might go, what a waste of time. They might do other self-care and well-being things that's not crafty or not for their planners or not fun things that will help, make their planning joyful. So that is the reason why I like creating stuff for myself. So, you know, for you, you might want to just write it down. That's okay too. But I know sometimes people go, oh, where did you get that? Or, how can I get that? Well, we can make it ourselves. And if you have the tools, and I will let you know all the different alternative resources. So make sure you take notes. Let me know if any of you have, laminating machine or laminating pouches available already. So then this is something you can do right now without having to go out and buy any of the tools and resources. So today I'm going to walk you through how to create your own gentle planning prompt card. Now, for the sake of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a replay of the video when I made this particular one, because, sometimes if I do it live, things might not work. So now this is the first time I am going to be showing quite a few little snippets of video. So fingers crossed, the system, my internet all works well. It doesn't freeze up on me. So please do let me know in the live chat if things are working, if the microphone's working well and things like that. So I'm going to talk through it. I did a little bit of editing, so hopefully I can slow things down or freeze, I pause it. And so if you do have any question, can you please do me a favor and type Q colon in front of your question, so then that way I can see and flag it, or see it amongst all the different conversations. And it's a great way for me as well. I can pretty much go through the comments nice and easy. But later down the track, when we have lots more plannerettes, it's a great way to, to train ourselves to put that Q colon in front of a question. And so that will really help me. All right. So Brenda already has the supplies. Wonderful. So you can pretty much, make these planner task cards for yourself. And I'll show you other uses that you can make for other different cards as well. All right, so I am fingers crossed. I am hoping it works really well. So let me just double check. I've got everything okay. So now there's parts of this task card I forgot to press resume filming. So if we do have time, I can talk you through if there are bits that I didn't show on the video. So hopefully, let me know if you have any questions. Ask them along the way, because sometimes, someone might go, what's that? What's this? All the details that I have of the things I use, they're all linked in the description. There's Amazon link, affiliate link. So some options, because I am here in Sydney, Australia, I may not be available where you are. So I've just given sort of like, here's some similar things. So So do keep an eye out on that. Okay, so let me see now. Make sure you do stay till the end because I'm going to share with you where I'm going to store this in my personal size Filofax mold and organizer. So then I have easy access and how I'm going to use this card daily inside my planning system. Okay, so you know, as you or most of you that have been here with me for a while, I've been really leaning into softer way of planning, because a lot of times when we do see other planning accounts or even productivity videos from experts or those in the know, they say plan, do this, time block like I do, make sure you doing this in the morning, in the afternoon, blah blah blah. And that's all well and good if you are 100% or close to full energy. But sometimes we might just be working with 40% energy or even 10%. And, it's important that we're not just writing all these to-do lists and then feeling overwhelmed by it and then getting anxious and then in the end procrastinating and not being productive at all. So, let's ask ourselves, what do I actually need to do today to feel supported? Treat ourselves as if we are our own friend, like we would a friend. If a friend is not feeling well, we know we're going to be really supportive and we're going to let them know, just take it easy, make sure you're looking after yourself. But sometimes we forget to say that to ourselves because we think, what will people think if I'm not doing enough, or if we're comparing ourselves to someone else. Really, really important. So these little prompts right here is a must do, a recharge moment, and a tiny win. It's going to help us plan gently and structure our day in a way that doesn't need a lot of energy or it's not going to overwhelm us. So let me go through what we are going to need. So if you are, Ronnie Cat says she has the supplies too. Fantastic. So we can make a great little, I think I did this while watching YouTube, I think I did it in 45 minutes. A lot of it is the finicky bit is trying to take the sticky bits off the label. All right, so what do we need? Fingers crossed this works. Okay, so hopefully let me know if there is any issues. So the first thing we need is laminating sheets or pouches. So I use an A4 one, and this is just your general, I think it's 80 microns. So 80 microns is, it's not too thick, it's not too flimsy. So if you do want your task card to be a lot sturdier, then maybe grab yourself a much thicker laminating sheet or pouch. So, but 80 microns, which is the standard one, and this is just, the J Burrows one is here in Australia, is the one I purchased. So it's, and this is a sort of like a glossy finish, so it has a little bit of shine. But you can also grab laminating sheets that are matte. They're a little bit more expensive, so whatever you fancy, grab those. And then of course, if you are going to use laminating pouches, you are going to need a laminating machine to run it through to make it be hard. And so really important. So this one is from Kmart here in Australia. It's an A4 size one, but we do also have an A3 size for our the resources we need for homeschool that requires the A3 pouch and A3 paper, but an A4 one. And nowadays, the laminating machines are quite affordable. I remember a few years back, they were quite expensive, like in the $50, $60 Australian dollar range. And now that I can get one for, I think, $15 or $20. So really helpful, not just for homeschooling resources, but arts and crafts stuff as well. Now, to cut those laminated sheets to size, I use a paper trimmer, but you can also use, hang on, You can also use scissors or a craft knife. Just be careful, make sure you protect your table with a cutting mat. But the paper trimmer is so much easier because then you can square it off. So this one is the Fiskars. I think this one is. I've got two versions. I've got it linked in the description. So this one is nice and handy. You can fold out that little arm, so then that way, let me just have a look. So then let's just, okay, so then that just folds out. So then that way you can square off your laminating sheets. All right. And then, of course, to create the little labels, is you will need sticky note flags. Now here I've got a variety of different ones because every time I see them at the shop I buy and purchase them, and then I come home and go, oh, I've already got some. So I have collected quite a few of these, and so different width, different colors, and so just depending on what you're going to label, you can have thicker ones or thinner ones, and I have used different ones as well. Again, I've popped in the description some options in the Amazon store. Now, do make sure the sticky note flag is a plastic one, because you know how there are some sticky note flags that are made from paper. So you do want it to be the plastic one, so then that way it's a lot sturdier and it's not going to tear or, through wear and tear, disintegrate or whatever. So sticky note flags. Now, the reason why I do use them, I will tell you a little bit later on, because you can easily just add the labels onto the laminated sheet. But there is a reason why I create the label on the actual sticky note flag itself. Now, here's some examples of different do it yourself task card or prompt cards that I have made in the past. So, as you can see, different colored sticky note flags. I've got one for self care to help remind me what are some of the things I can do this week for self care, some of the things for my get things done, things I have to check off for the week, and different routines that I got to do for the evening. Because for me, the evening is, I don't plan as well in the evening because my energy is gone. So sometimes I need that little prompt or a task card to help remind me, and again removes that decision fatigue on what things I need to do in the evening to close the day off and help prepare me for the next day. And then, of course, as a label, we need a label maker. I have plenty of different label makers, but I've got this Dynamo is the one because this is the one that I have a sticky tape for. A lot of the times I will go and rotate through my different label makers. It just depends which one I have, labels for. So this is the one that I have, the Dymo label maker. Again, the link is in the description, and it can create different size fonts, bold, italic, underline. You can create or add symbols and also lowercase and uppercase and numbers as well. So it's a nice little handy. And for those who love making labels, I'm actually quite surprised I haven't labeled the label maker. All right, so you'll need a label maker as well. If you don't have one, another thing is you can just go and write down on a piece of sticky note flags, and you can laminate that, so you don't have to have a label maker, nor do you have to buy one. So you can even type it, like on your computer, type little labels, cut it to size, and then use that instead. So those are the different alternatives, because of course, not everyone has all these resources. Again, I have them because for not only for our homeschooling, but I love labeling stuff, and I'm a crafty person. So anytime I see someone else making something, I'm going, oh, I need that too. So I get highly influenced as well. So now, what if you do not have a label laminating machine or the laminating pouches? Well, you can go and buy some plastic document envelopes. So this one is an A4 document envelopes. As you can see, you pop in your documents in there. So I just cut these up. And so again, they have different thickness. I found this particular one though, um, is a little bit flimsy, so then what happens is it does curl up. So but if you're just going to have it in, maybe, in your planner and into a clear, like a credit card pocket, then it'll be fine. But so you just want to make sure, if you do buy plastic document envelopes to use for your cards, that it's a little bit thicker. So it I think, do I have any here? I don't think, no, I think most of these ones that I have are laminating sheets, so that 80 micron has that nice sturdiness. So again, or you can even just use cardstock. So you do not have to have clear plastic card. You can use a nice sturdy cardstock, either plain colorful one, or even a nice beautifully printed one that's part, within your aesthetic of your planning system. Okay, so how do we feel, right? So for those of you following along, and if it's something that you want to make yourself, those are the tools I use. Again, I've given you some alternatives. If you do not have these, right now, just grab yourself document envelopes, or even, if you have already plastic packaging, you can, save those as well. So especially the toys, they have nice sturdy plastic. Okay, so the next thing is, what size should I make the cards? So first of all, if you have a laminating machine, just follow the instructions of your laminating machine. Grab one of the sheets. So a sheet, like to begin with, is nice and flimsy. One end has an open end and the other one is closed, and that's the end that you feed it through. So normally you would have something in between when you're laminating and protecting something. But for this case, we're just going to run the sheet on its own, so we get the plastic. So really it's just that. So I normally have ones already, pre-made. So then when I am going to create task cards for myself, I just go and grab that, nice and easy. And if you do make anything with laminating machines, make sure you're saving the offcuts, because you can use that for other projects, so more cards. Okay, and as you can see here, I have all the offcuts from my different document envelopes. So again, you can create different, even like fancy, if you want to go and create bookmarks. And I've seen people press, tiny little flowers in between the laminating sheets. So if you have any offcuts, and that's another great crafty project that you can make, hole punch it at the top, put a nice little ribbon, and they can make great teachers gifts, or gifts for your children's friends. Okay, so that's how you would laminate the sheets if you haven't got one handy. Now the card size that I use, so I have here in inches, so I always write it down on a little piece of post-it notes, because they always say measure twice, cut once. So it's 2 1/8 inch by 3 3/8 inch, or 54 millimeter by 86 millimeter. So you don't have to measure it yourself. You can go and just follow these instructions, whether you follow inches or millimeters. That is how you would go and the cards. So these cards are the same size as credit cards or store cards. Now the laminating sheets that I have, it has rounded corners at all corners. So I just trim that off, so then that way I start off with a nice clean sharp corners, and so then that way I'll have matching corners when I cut it to size. And then of course I use my paper trimmer to line up the edge. One side is at 2 1/8, and then so you just cut that up, so you can cut a full sheet of a full A4 sheet of laminated pouch, and then just already pre-make your cards. So I'm always making sure I have cut it properly and measure it with the one of my pre-made ones, but you can use your credit card or any store card you have. And then the length is at 3 1/8. Okay, so I am hoping that these instructions are nice and simple. You can make it as you go, pause the video, and then that way, you can follow along. And then, because I know when I'm following instructions, like, what was that again? What was the measurement? So just pause the video. Again, comparing it with one I've already made. And so, and of course, with one strip at 2 1/8 on my A4 sheet, I'm able to get two credit card size cards. All right, so I think that's the end of that video there. Okay, so then once you've cut it all up, these sharp corners, they can stab you. So you can grab a pair of scissors and then just manually round off the corners. So then that way you're not stabbing yourself with those sharp plastic corners. However, I do have a corner punch. So this is We Are Memory Keepers version, but you can buy some cheap ones now. So like a hole punch, and then you can create or punch rounded corners. So this version here, the We Are Memory Keepers, it has 1/2 inch rounded corners as well as 1/4 inch. So in this example, I did 1/2 an inch, but I think this is just too rounded for me compared to the ones that I do like, which is 1/4. So as you can see, it's quite more rounded. So I'll put that aside for a different project. So I can never remember which, is it a 1/4 inch that I like or a 1/2 an inch corner? So then I'm just punching this one, which is what I'm going to use to create my do-it-yourself prompt cards. So there it is, 1/4 inch rounded corners. Again, you do not have to have a corner punch. I have it from, geez, I think 2012, maybe 2013, when I thought I wanted to make greeting cards. So for those of you that may not know, when I get my head around making something or starting a new project, I need to have all the supplies before my head thinks that I can create it. So if it's, I want to start doing greeting cards and coloring, greeting cards, I need to have all the colors of the set for me to even think of doing it. I'm trying to stop myself from thinking that way, that I do not need to have everything under the sun to be able to start making any of my projects. So that's just a little tip for you, those of you, to start with what you have right now. Okay, so if you are liking this video so far, please show me some love and hit that like button. I would really, truly appreciate it. Okay, so no questions coming in. We're all busy taking notes. I love it, but do make sure, keep me company so I know that you are here. All right, so no chats to check. All right, well, let's keep going, shall we? So the next thing is we're going to now create the prompt card. So those things, the one must do, one recharge moment, and one tiny win, I have written it down on a post-it note. So then that way, when I'm typing it on my label maker, I don't make a mistake of, the question. So I have typed out the full question. So the first one is, so the one must do. So what's one thing I absolutely need to do today? Okay, and then the next one, for one recharge moment, I have typed, what's one way I can recharge my energy today? And then for the tiny win, what's one tiny win I can complete for a small sense of progress? Now, of course, you don't have to type up all this question, but I know when I am in my low moments, when I have low energy, the one must do, it won't trigger me enough. So I need all the help I can get. So the more detailed my question is that I can ask myself to figure out what I can put on my daily task list for those low energy days, the better. So what I'm doing first is to make sure I know what the task card is for, is I'm just adding a label. So I'm just put a gentle plan. I'm thinking I might even change it to gentle planning. but we're gonna go with it because it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Okay, so that's just a great way for me. So compared to all the other things that I have, so this is my PM routine task card. See, I've got the label there, so then that way I know exactly what it is for. So gentle plan on the Dymo letter tag label maker. This font is medium size, and it's in italic. Okay, so I won't go through. Maybe later down the track I can do a review of the Dymo letter tag label maker if anyone is interested in getting it. But this font is medium size and italic. Okay, so now I did grab here. Let me just pop this here. Let me see if I can go back to the beginning of this video. I just got myself to help line up my labels. I just grabbed one of my grid paper from my personal size planner, or if you have a grid paper or even lined paper. Grid is better because then you can line it up perpendicularly, and then that way, if you're like me and get put off that it's not straight, then a grid paper is going to help you line up your label, and then it also will help you center it, because then you go, all right, there's 2 squares on the left side, there's 2 squares on the right side, so I know I'm going to have the beginning and the end of this label in this way. So here what I did is I just grabbed some tiny little blue tacks to just keep the plastic card, from moving around. In the end, I think I had to do all 4 corners with blue tacks, and then that way it doesn't move around. So as you can see, I'm just lining up the label against the lines. All right, so that's a little tip if you are going to go and add labels to a clear plastic card. All right, so what's the next one? We're now going to print the prompt. So each and every one of these, again, so originally I thought I was going to use much bigger font for my labels, and so as you can see, that blue, pink, orange, yellow sticky note flag is a much thicker one. But when I printed, this one is in small font and just normal, not italicized. And so normal small font, and then I just cut the excess clear plastic from the ends and top and bottom, so then that way it it's not overlapping, and it's sort of like a cleaner finish when you are adding it onto your sticky note flags. So that colorful fluoro ones was just too wide, so I picked a little bit narrower, and I think these ones here are about 1/2 inch wide sticky note flags, and just pick whatever colors you like. You can pick up these ones. I think I picked up from Daiso here in Australia. So what I did there, let me see if I can just go back a little bit. So let's go from here. So again, the sticky note flag, I lined it against the grid of the paper behind it, so then that way it'll make it easy, and then you can move these around a little bit later. And here I'm just eyeballing how to cut the long sentence, so then it fits nicely onto the sticky note flag, so then that way I'm not left with one letter on the 3rd line. So I'm just placing it on there, just so then I know exactly, yep, that looks right. 3 lines. So of course, if you do use much bigger font on your label, you may need a much thicker sticky note flag, or you just eyeball where you're going to cut the sentence, so then you can fit it nicely on your sticky note flag. Are we still all good? We're still following along. Hopefully, please let me know if it's clear, my instructions are clear, or you need me to go back and say, I don't get what you said there, Miriam. All right, so now it's just a matter of peeling the backing off these clear labels. And here's a little tip. Let me just so when you place so if you have cut your sentence into different parts, to make sure it's evenly spaced out. So for me, here I have the sentence going into 3 different lines. Stick the middle label first, and then that way you know that that middle label is not in the middle, right? And so what I did here, I'm just very carefully, and I cut my nails too at the time, so I had no nails to try and peel the backing. Here I'm just using precise tweezers. This is just from the beauty store, so just grab one. It just makes it easier, because then also it stops putting fingerprints on the sticky part of the label, so then that way it sticks nicely and you don't have these fingerprint marks on your clear labels. And then so what I did, so I've got the again relining my sticky note flag, so then that way it's nicely in the middle. And then again I use the grid to guide exactly where I need to place it. And so what I was doing here is I was eyeballing how many square grid on each end, so then that way I know it's in the middle. And then of course you just add the top and bottom labels or part of the prompt, and then eyeball it again, make sure it's all lined up. What was I doing here? Can't remember. Okay. Here I didn't capitalize the I, and so instead of uh, typing the whole label out again, I just grabbed myself this is, I think, it's a permanent marker in fine, Staedtler permanent, which is great because then it doesn't smudge on plastic surface or glossy surface. So if ever you need a marker that you need to write on shiny surface or glossy surface, the Staedtler permanent marker in fine is really good. So what I did, instead of the I being I dot, I just colored in the little space in between, and so now you can't even tell that it wasn't capitalized. And so just do be careful, if it is a little bit wet still, don't smudge over it right away. Even though it is dry erase and it won't smudge, don't do it right away, because I've done that one going, well, it says, it doesn't smudge, but it's like, let the ink dry first. All right, and then I just add the bottom part of that question or that prompt on my first little label. So this one is a one must do. What's one thing I absolutely need to do today? So it's a non-negotiable, something you can't put off. A lot of these stuff is, work related, so really important. So I'm just going to fast track through the 2 prompts, because I guess you get the idea. Just cut the sentence to size, so then that way it's evenly spaced. Again, use your grid paper to help you line up the clear labels. And so there we are. I now have my 3 prompts: must do, recharge moment, and one tiny win. So it's my gentle plan task card. So let me know if that is something you can do. So now remember, you don't have to have the full question as a prompt. You can just have you can just have this one. All right, so you can just create a label and then maybe use a bigger font, so then it takes up a little bit more space on that sticky note flags. You can just write one must do, one recharge moment, one tiny win. Okay, so but for me, I know myself, when I'm in the moment of self-doubt, limiting belief, I can't do anything, why can't I do anything, what's wrong with me, I need all the help I can get to get that the prompt and the full question will allow me to decide, oh, okay, Well, today I can't put this off, so that's my one must do. Recharge moment. What is it? Something, what's one way I can recharge my energy today? Well, I can go and do my paint by numbers, or I can do my knitting, or I can go and watch, one of my reality TV episodes. Okay. And what's one tiny win? I've been looking at that box that's been sitting on the floor, gathering dust, and I keep telling myself I've got to declutter, or sort through it. That's going to be a tiny win if I can get through that one little box, or that whatever it is that's been on your to-do list. And remember, a one win doesn't mean you have to complete the task. If you can just complete one small actionable step of that thing, that's a tiny win. Okay, so of course, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would so appreciate it. It really doesn't matter nowadays in the world of YouTubes and algorithm, but it does look nice. It's one of those vanity metrics, because as YouTubers, one day, getting those plaques and everything is a nice win. But as long as I have you guys subscribed and hitting that bell, so then when I am on. All right. So no question. Either my instructions have been nice and clear. There's quite a few of you here, so hopefully that you are enjoying it. If so, make sure, for those who haven't hit that like button yet, I would so appreciate them. Okay. So now let's quickly have a look. So this is now my gentle plan prompt card. So this is where I actually forgot to resume my filming. As you can see at the bottom of, because I did have a little bit of space, because I only had 3 prompts on this, credit card size do-it-yourself task card. There was that space, and so for me visually, I need to have that balance. So then I put, okay, one thing, one breath, one win. So that could be a mantra we can say to ourselves for those moments we are feeling low, where the energy's not there, we're overwhelmed, we're teary, we can't figure out why we just can't do anything, when we know we are, high functioning. Any other typical moment, we can do things like this. We've, led teams, we've created big projects, so why can't I even make any movement? If we can say to ourselves, just do one thing, take one breath, and have one win, then that could be maybe, all right, what do I need to do? Yes, I need to look at my gentle plan prompt card to just let me know, or help support me. What way can I be gentle on myself today and not overload myself? So the that font on the Dymo LetraTag label maker is also in medium size, in italic, and then I just did both capitalized and lowercase, and then added the symbol of the quote mark. So one thing, one breath, and that's a nice little, little prompt card to have in my planner. So let's quickly have a look. So where do I keep this? Now, here in Dayzo, Australia, I'll make sure I'll go check to see if there's any in Amazon store. There is this, hopefully that rain isn't too loud on the microphone, because it is now coming up to 6 a.m., so the traffic is picking up. Hello, Anastasia. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate you being here. And it looks like, are you new to my channel? If so, welcome. Yay! Thank you. I appreciate you joining me. Jean, hello. Do you have a planner setup video? Just got your planning pages and loving them. Depending, I'll have a look which one you have. I know I did do a recent A5 planner flip through. That's in the, I can't remember if that was a live stream or if it's a video. if you can, come back and comment at the bottom of this video, and then I can send you the direct link. So then that way you don't have to go and have a look yourself. Now, I am, because of my the unknown of perimenopause, my low vitamin D levels, which of course has affected my mood, has affected my energy. um, Changing up my planning system is a great way to, novelty and change things up. You know how they say change is as good as a holiday. I do like to swap my planner sizes, but pretty much they're all the same, with the habit tracking, well-being, making sure you're logging your mood. So I'll make sure, just let me know what planner printable you got in the comment after the live stream, and I'll make sure I flag the planner setup, or at least a flip through. So I'll do more of those. Yes, I have the A5 size. So I'm thinking you might have the ultimate planner bundle, and I think I did have a planner flip through for that. So, but yes, so where am I going to keep this? So this is a, let me see, self-adhesive pocket, okay? So it's a little pocket here that you can put, photos or whatever other keepsake you have. And it comes with double-sided adhesive that you peel. So you can either have your corner pocket facing that way, or you have your corner pocket facing this way. And I think I did also buy one for A5 size, so then you can put bigger things. So I'll make sure, if you do not have Daiso near you, I know Daiso is also international for my US counterparts. I'll double check to see if there is anything in the Amazon store that has similar. But if you just put self-adhesive pocket, I'm sure there'll be some there. And so, yeah, so all you do is you peel the double-sided sticky, so the one side sticks to the pocket and then one side sticks to whatever you're going to go and stick it to. So I am going to keep this. So for the moment, I am moving into a personal size planning for the month of May. This is the Filofax Molden Organizer. I was gifted this when I was an Filofax ambassador. I do have affiliate codes or affiliate discount codes in the description. So 30% off for the personalized station, 20% off for all other items except leather. So this is leather, and then 10% off. So Marianne 30, Marianne 20, or Marianne 10 if you want to. It is only available in the US, UK, and European stores. For the Australian ones, you're probably going, why can't we get the discount? Because they are different distributors. So that is why that's only valid to the US, UK, and European sites. Okay. So I will do a planner flip through of this once I've set it up, because I'm still sort of trying to figure out my way and how I'm going to use it. But I have my little Filofax ruler page marker for the today section. And then I also have, this clear plastic that came with the Filofax. But if you've got a laminating machine, just cut it to size, hole punch it, and create these little slits into the hole punch, and you can remove and replace this placeholder, or in my case, it holds a little calendar. This is free. I'm going to make sure I write this down. This is a free printable, post-it note printable from Plan with B. Plan with B. So if you have a printer that is capable of printing on post-it notes, she's got that. And I do also have a few different habit trackers. And then I use the Filofax Ollie clip to just keep my Hobonichi. Again, I didn't add that into the Hobonichi basic stencil. See, once you got to write it down, because or else I'll forget it. My brain fog. Okay, so this is the Hobonichi stencil that I use to check off my completed task. So I just had that there. And then at the front of it is where I have my self-adhesive little corner pocket. Okay, so you can see the adhesive at the back there. And then that just belongs in there. Okay, so then when I'm planning, so the way would use it. Okay, so I'll have it there. So I've got my daily planner page personal size here. I'm going to write my 3-part rhythm tasks for today. So all I'm going to do is what's one thing I absolutely need to do today? So I need to go and go to the bank and also book a doctor's appointment because, I want to make sure that I did all my blood tests and I did all my, female tests. But, I think maybe the vitamin D supplements that I'm taking, is that affecting my mood? Because when I started taking it, it's supposed to help your mood, but then, whatever it is, I need to find out. So always seek, professional help when you can't figure things out. Because sometimes, we are low or we have low energy, not because of mindset, but might be something medical or might physical. So I want to make sure. So here I'm going to write what's one thing I absolutely need to do today is go to the bank and book a doctor's visit. What's one way I can recharge my energy today? Let me see if I can grab my, make sure I'm also, I don't unplug myself. I'm stuck. My headphone is stuck. Hang on a tick. So this is me finagling myself out of my stuff. I'm going to show you. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit. So I have been um, doing my paint by numbers. So this is one of the ways I am recharging. So this I got this from Kmart here in Australia. So for 3 canvases a pack, I think it's for $10. So it comes with the paint, it comes with the brush, and then I don't know. See, it's got the colors that you need to paint each little section. You look too close, maybe it's not as good. But hey, once that's on the wall, it's going to look great. So I might just have to do 2 layers so then it doesn't look patchy. So as you can see, it's nearly finished, and that is a good indication that I have been actually taking time to re-energize myself, look after myself, incorporate self-care and well-being into my day to ensure that I am being compassionate, being gentle, and being kind to myself, and actually being intentional with my breaks. So that's one of the ways that I am recharging my energy, is doing my paint by numbers, because it's also a nice mindfulness activity because I'm just focusing on it. I'm concentrating, making sure I'm coloring in within the lines. And I just do it for either 15 minutes or 30 minutes, put the timer on. So whatever I do within that time, and a lot of times for 30 minutes, I probably only do a tiny little bit of the painting because, you have to be really precise, right? So that's one way that I recharge my energy. And then so I will write that down here on my daily planner. So if you have my A5 planner, it's the same, similar setup. You've got a time blocking and space to write down your 3-part rhythm for those. And then look, this is not just for when this is a good starting point to plan, not just for low energy days, but just a good habit to have one thing that's a non-negotiable, one thing for yourself, and one tiny little win. Because creating accomplishments and wins throughout the day, you're training your brain to go, hey, let's do more stuff that's a victory, it's a win. So we are looking for accomplishments. Remember, progress, not perfection. And then that way, it'll start to spot those things more often rather than the negative things, and reframing our mind. Okay, so then what's one tiny win? So probably, we did a big bedroom swap. So we took everything out of the room. So at the moment, our lounge room, our dining room have boxes of stuff. So I'm slowly going through each little section and just putting the timer on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just go declutter or sort through one box at a time. So that's what I've been doing, is just tiny little decluttering. So I will write that down here, here, and here. And then, of course, I'll have other things on my to-do list. But if nothing else gets done except those one must do, one recharge moment, and one tiny win, it is a win. It is an accomplishment. Because yes, sometimes, we don't have the whole day to just sit on, and sit with our emotions. We still got to go through life and do work and do stuff, and but this is gentle way to go and function and make some momentum in your day. Yes, Jean says, yes, the Ultimate Planner bundle. So I'm going to be setting up also. So throughout the month, Jean, I do, whether I do it on my Monday live stream or on my Instagram, I show how I embellish it, how I use each planner. So then that way it's not just a one off. I show you how I use it for myself. So I'm going to be using a hybrid of my personal size as well as my Ultimate Planner bundle, because I need to keep things a little bit novelty for me, because it's one of the ways to re-energize myself. Okay, so and now, speaking of planning for May, let me, yep, just making sure the camera covers the whole. So this, I think is it this one? I've got so many different things. Okay, let me have a look, trying to softly place things down so then the microphone doesn't. So I have, okay, so I printed my May Ultimate Planner bundle. So I've got my goals tracker. Now, I have, for those who already have signed up to my weekly email newsletter, a few hours ago, I sent out the weekly newsletter that has the link for this free printable download. Okay, so May's one is out now. If you haven't yet signed up to my email newsletter, you can do so. So you can have the QR code right there, or the link is in the description. You'll get, weekly tips, little support. So, because a lot of times when I'm going through stuff, a lot of you are going through the same things. Sometimes it's difficult to go through harder moments when all we see on Instagram, on Pinterest, on YouTube are the well embellished pages, and then we start to compare, and like everyone's ticking things off the list, and or everything is beautifully embellished and set out pages, and I can't even, don't even have the energy to get my planner open. So I have give you those little supports, also free printable downloads, and then remind you if somehow Instagram or YouTube forgets to tell you that there is a new video out, then I just do that reminder. And also, as a welcome subscriber, you get a discount on for your first purchase. There is a discount code there. So there's the QR code. So the May monthly cover page is now available for you to download. You can leave it as is if your energy is a little bit low, or you can embellish it along with me. This was April. We did a live session together where we created all these different doodles on the page, and a lot of you shared your April cover page in the Plannerettes community. Where was March one was because it was St. Pat's, so I think I did green, so just these leaves. I think we did that live as well. So what can be the theme for May, I wonder? Okay, so grab your free May free printable download by signing up to my email newsletter or joining the Plannerettes community. But if you have already signed up, do check your inbox. Do not, make sure you don't leave me in spam or you'll never see it. Or don't unsubscribe. If sometimes you don't have the time to go read it, just put it aside, or maybe just delete that one. But don't unsubscribe, because maybe sometimes I'd give freebies of my, things in the shop, because to just give you thanks and show my appreciation. So that's available in there. So let me know if anyone else has any question. Did you like this? Is this something that you can make yourself? Again, please remember, you do not have to have all the equipment that I have. You can use plastic packaging. You can use cardstock. You can use printed paper. You can use any cardboard that you have lying around that's a nice thick sturdy one. Now if you don't have sticky note flags, you can print these things. If you have a printer and copy paper, print it on colored pieces of paper, or write them. If you have nice tiny little writing, you can write it down. You can write it, and then you can laminate the whole thing. Just do make sure, if you are using a label maker that is heat printed, if you run it through your laminating machine, the whole thing will go black, because the whole heat will make the tape go dark. Okay, so if you are going to just use this without oh yes, that's what I was going to tell you, the reason why I put it on sticky note flags. So probably not for this prompt card, but for other prompt cards that I have. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is my Get Things Done task card. So these are the tasks I need to do on a weekly basis to make sure I am trusting my planner system. So if and when I don't get to go through it each and every day. So on my Monday, what I do is I check my daily planner pages, my weekly, and my calendar from the week before. I go through it. Is there anything on there that I didn't action that I need to migrate for this week, or just cross off? Did I get everything done that's on my calendar, especially for bills maybe that's coming up? I go through my weekly spread to see if there's anything I need to tick off. On Tuesdays, I look through my list of stuff on my projects list. So let's just say for today, instead of writing on my daily planner or daily page, by having them on a sticky note flag, I can just remove them, and then I can stick them on the page, so I don't have to rewrite each and every time. Now I did have somewhere, I don't know where it is, a cleaning task card. Okay, so on Mondays, maybe you do the bathrooms. On Tuesday, maybe you do the kitchen. On Wednesday, you might do one of the bedrooms. On Thursday, you might clean the fridge. So you can create cleaning task cards for yourself. So instead of writing it on your, let's say, Monday, you just go peel the sticky note flags, and pop it on whatever day you say you're going to action it. So this is Tuesday, and then that's a great reminder. Task card, do it yourself task card, right? So that's essentially, this idea originally came from Maddie Plans of Instagram, and so that's a great way. But I just like to have the pretty thing, and so I just have it handy, and I don't take it on or off the card itself. Just keep it all there, and I'll just go, all right, when I'm planning, what do I need to do Monday? Okay, I need to do this. And I like to rewrite my task or write them down again, because I find that is one mindfulness activity that I like. I like to practice my penmanship. It's like, as you can see, I'm using different pens. So I'm using my fountain pen. So this one is a fountain pen, the Kaweco Sports in extra fine. This is a limited edition color in sage. And then the ink is a Pilot pen ink. So it's sort of like a pinkish, purplish. And so one of the ways to just add fun novelty is to change up my pens, change up my planner sizes, so then that way I don't get bored, and it helps re-energize me. Hello Angela, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. All right, well, if there is no other question, I thank you so much. So it's really, really important. What are the ways that you can think of that will help remove the decision fatigue for when you have days where the energy level is not there, or you're feeling low, you're feeling a bit sad, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling stressed, you feel like there's everything on your to-do list is important, everything on your to-do list is a priority, and so then you just get overwhelmed, you freeze, you procrastinate, you don't do anything, then the guilt comes in and then you start to spiral. So have a gentler, softer plan. And this is where your task or prompt card will come in, where you have one must do, one recharge moment, one tiny win. That's it. It's going to keep your day grounded without overwhelming you. It's going to help remind you that, hey, I'm allowed to be kind to myself and not overwhelm myself, and give myself some care, and plan for where I am at the moment, not where I should be, not that I have to tick everything on my to-do list. Okay, so really, really important. I hope that you loved making the gentle plan prompt card with me. So if whether you're watching this now and you're going to make some, or if you are watching this on replay, let me know in the comments if it is something you're going to make or if you've made it already. Okay, so come back. They're going to make such a difference in how you start your day by having some thing to prompt you, like I said, especially in those days where you can't even think. You can't even get out of bed, okay? So if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more simple planning ideas, gentle routines, and ways to bring more care into your day. And of course, if you want to go even deeper, I'll link in the description the gentle planning video that I spoke about a little bit earlier, of why I can't get things done, right? So this explains all of this. All right, so I will see you in the next video, and make sure to sign up for my free weekly email newsletter to get my May free May monthly cover page to help start your planner pages, so you can print it for A5, Happy Planner Classic, or letter. Just change the printer preference or paper size in your printer, and all the details are in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me in today's live. I'm so happy to be back on my normal Monday live stream routine. I'm going to go have some breakfast now, and hopefully you have a good evening, a good afternoon, and I will see you in the comment section. Bye everybody. Bye.